So do you live in a colder state or climate where the sun likes to hide from you? I grew up in Ohio and we had cloudy days, I think 200 days out of the year. So many people who are in those sorts of states have a vitamin D deficiency. How do you know if you have a vitamin D deficiency? Well, stick with me so that I can share a few pointers with you on vitamin D and why it's super important to ensure that you're getting enough. Hey mama, what's going on? My name is Kristen Nicole and I empower busy moms with wellness tips and education to take the guesswork out of what comes next so that you can show up each and every day feeling healthy and confident and ready to be the best version of your mom's self. I put out a new video and blog post each and every week, so if you're new here, please consider subscribing by going to kristennicoleonline.com/10 and pick up my free guide, my top 5 must-have smartphone apps every good mom should have to keep their family safe and healthy. So let's talk a little bit about vitamin D. Now, this might be a topic that you haven't really thought about before, or maybe you know that you have a vitamin D deficiency or one of your kids has a vitamin D deficiency, but didn't really find it to be that detrimental because you don't really talk to anybody that you know that has a vitamin D deficiency and it's really affected them. Well, the truth is that lack of vitamin D can actually cause very serious health problems. So let's talk a little bit about why vitamin D is important. And because of the fact that this topic is very medical and technical based, I do have some notes in front of me. So I just wanted to let you know that if I'm looking down, that is why. So a vitamin D deficiency can cause several medical issues. Some of those are an increased risk of death from cardiovascular disease, cognitive impairment in older adults, rickets, which is actually a disease that can cause brittle bones essentially, and deformation in the skeletal system. It can cause severe asthma in children, and vitamin D deficiency can actually lead to cancer. There is also research suggesting that vitamin D can help in combating type 1 and type 2 diabetes, glucose intolerance, multiple sclerosis, and hypertension. So when I first started researching this topic, I actually had no idea that vitamin D was linked to so many things or actually could help prevent so many things. Just as I'm sure you were surprised by that, I was very surprised by that as well. Certainly don't feel bad because you may not have had this information. That is what I am here for, to help you put those pieces together so that you don't have to do it on your own. So what is vitamin D exactly and what does it do? Well, vitamin D is a fat-soluble hormone. It is essential for growing and maintaining strong and healthy bones. It also helps to support the immune system and to protect against cancer or combat cancer. Now, of course, I'm not a medical professional, but I have done a lot of research on this on very reputable websites. And it's been several years since I have had my vitamin D tested, but I was diagnosed with a vitamin D deficiency. So this is something that really struck home with me, and that's part of the reason why I did start researching it. Especially the fact that I grew up in Ohio and I have lived there most of my life. So that's something that affects a lot of people who really are in the northern states. So because of all the reasons that I mentioned, that is why getting a vitamin D supplement is very, very important. You can get vitamin D from lots of foods. However, most of the vitamin D content is very minimal. So for the best foods to go to for vitamin D, you want to look to things like fish and fish oils, egg yolks, fortified milk, and beef liver. I don't know about the last one, but if you're game, then more power to you. And if you don't like any of those sorts of foods, then you definitely want to look into taking a vitamin D supplement. Now, of course, I'm sure that you know you get vitamin D from the sun, but as you've seen in some of my other posts, you really want to make sure that you're wearing sunscreen anytime that you go out. I would recommend getting your vitamin D elsewhere, only because you don't want to risk getting skin cancer just so you can get some vitamin D from the sun. And since vitamin D supplements are so readily available, particularly here in the US, there's no reason why you can't take a great vitamin D supplement and still be using your mineral-based broad spectrum sunscreen. For more information on vitamin D and why you need it, please visit my blog at kristennicoleonline.com/10. And while you're there, don't forget to pick up my free guide, my top 5 must-have smartphone apps every good mom should have to keep their family safe and healthy. And until next time, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I do personally answer all of your emails, texts, messages, whatever you prefer to send by way of communication. And if I don't hear from you, that's okay too. I'm just so happy that you have come into my world and I am able to get you this information. Question of the week, have you ever been diagnosed with a vitamin D deficiency, or do you know of someone who's been diagnosed with a vitamin D deficiency? And what have you done to help combat that? Drop me a comment and let me know.